Yo, Shuffle Squad, welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'm going to be showing off an early deck profile for Radiant Eternatus. Radiant Eternatus is looking to be a pretty good deck in the format, as its ability allows you to get 2 VMAXs on your bench for free. Of course, you use the ability, your turn will end. It's a pretty good card, though, nonetheless, and of course, there are a ton of VMAX Pokemon to choose from, and in this build, we are going to be using Comfey kind of as our engine to try to fuel Mirage Gate really quickly so we can power up these VMAXs once we put them into play with Radiant Eternatus. I'm very excited to show off my deck profile here for the deck, because I'm very excited for Crown Zenith to release very soon. If y'all are excited too, definitely leave a like on the video, and if you're new to the Shuffle Squad, make sure to subscribe down below so you never miss an upload. Also, make sure to check out the sponsors down below, like Atlas Collectibles. If you get anything at Atlas, use the discount code TSS12 to save yourself a 12% discount on your purchase. And you can also check out your playmat down below. If you want to build your own cool custom playmat, you can check out your playmat and, of course, use the discount code TSSYP5 to get yourself a 5% discount on the playmat. And you can also check out Pokedex Word down below to complete daily crossword puzzles, and they can be great ways to get a brain exercise or wake up. You know what I mean? It's a great way to start your day off, and definitely check them out if you're into crosswords and all that good stuff. But let's go look at my Radiant Eternatus early deck profile. Alright, here is the Eternatus deck here in its full glory. Now, Radiant Etern, of course, with the ability allowing you to play it onto your bench and put 2 VMAX Pokemon into play for free is pretty insane. It's one of the reasons why Etern is going to be really good. Now, the question becomes, what VMAXs are you going to pair it with? Because being able to put a VMAX in play is nice, but VMAXs have been kind of on the downswing for a while now. Well, there is this really cool deck here that uses Duraludon VMAX, Flying Pikachu VMAX, and Espeon VMAX all in one deck. So the concept of this deck is you basically are using a Comfey and the Lost Zone engine. Now, it is a bit of a different Lost Zone deck. As you can see, there are no Cramorants, there's no Sableye, there's no Cram, no Sableye, no Radiant Greninja, just basically keeping it very simple and just playing 4 Comfeys. The basic concept of the deck is you're just trying to spam Comfey's ability over and over again, and you have access to Chloris, and you basically are just trying to put VMAXs into play with each turn, and then you just try to activate Mirage Gate using Comfey's ability to then allow you to Mirage Gate and power up your VMAXs. Now, the 3 VMAXs chosen here are all very good in the format. The first one we got, of course, is Duraludon with that big bulky 330 HP and the ability to be immune to Pokemon with special energy. So if your opponent is trying to play special energy focused deck and they try to attack your Duraludon, right, they're not going to do any damage. And of course you have G-Max Pulverization. Being an awkward attack cost, needing fighting and 2 metal, you can easily fill up the void using a Mirage Gate to power the attack up. And then, of course, we have the Espeon VMAX, where you have the ability to shut off all effective attacks done to your Pokemon. So basically, you can't get Eviltalled, you can't be paralyzed, or you can't be like any other like weird shenanigan effects like Shedinja or something like that, or Eviltalled. So basically, any effect that your opponent tries to do to your Pokemon with energy on them doesn't work. So you go Duraludon, get an energy on it, and you play Espeon down, and you basically prevent your opponent from being able to insta-KO Duraludon with Lugia. That's one of Lugia's ways to deal with Duraludon, is to try to knock out your Duraludon with Yveltal with Lost Vacuum, so you don't have a big Parasalon. But because you have Espeon VMAX in play, they can't do that. Most Lugia lists don't have a way to directly deal with Espeon, because they're trying to knock out the Duraludon. You know, they just use Lost Vacuum to get rid of Big Parasol. They're trying to kill the Duraludon that way. They're not really worrying about Espeon, so they're not playing Path to the Peak or anything. They can boss your Espeon, but this deck does play 2 copies of Leafy Camo Poncho, where when Camo Poncho is on your VMAX Pokemon on the bench, it cannot be bossed up. So your opponent cannot use Boss or Serena to gust out an Espeon VMAX. So while your Espeon sits on the bench with a Leafy Camo Poncho, they can't gust around it, meaning that Duraludon will just wall off the Lugia pretty much completely, while Espeon is in the background, just completely shutting off Yveltal, making it almost impossible for your opponent to deal with Duraludon, which is one of the beautiful things about this combo. Now, the deck also does play a couple Flying Pikachus. Now, the reason why the deck is playing the Flying Pikachu is because it's another really good VMAX Pokemon that fixes matchups. Duraludon Espeon is really good against Lugia. It can be decent against other meta decks too. But Flying Pikachu is also very good, as it does have the attack Max Balloon, which will allow you to be immune to basic Pokemon. And against Lost Box itself, you can go Flying Pikachu and just kind of wall. You can also go like Flying Pikachu Espeon against Lost Box. So basically the idea there is if you put Espeon in play with Flying Pikachu, your opponent can't use Sableye against Pikachu. Sableye does work against Flying Pikachu's attack, even if, like, you know, they do Max Balloon, they can still use Sableye and put 12 damage counters on your Flying Pikachu. It can be annoying to deal with. But when you have an Espeon VMAX Flying Pikachu combo set up, your opponent can't use Sableye on the Flying Pikachu, basically meaning that Lost Box should have no way to deal with your Pikachu apart from Escape Rope, and that's about it. So that's why the deck is playing Flying Pikachu. It's another VMAX Pokemon that you can build up very easy. Mirage Gate, you literally just like put a light energy on it, and then you just like put like 2 other filler energies on it, and you're just doing Max Balloon all the livelong day against Lost Box, which should be a good matchup. Now again, this deck is very much a different take on a Lost Zone Engine deck, because it doesn't have all the same Lost Zone Engine cards that we're used to seeing. Again, this deck doesn't play any Sableye. The deck doesn't play any Cramorant, just basically using 4 Comfeys, a Guru, and a Manaphy. Now, the reason why there's not that many other basics is, well, one, space reasons, because there is so much we do want to kind of put in here, but also because the goal of the deck is to not have one prize. There's also just to kind of have a nice field set up of VMAX Pokemon, so you don't really need to play stuff like Cramorant or Sableye or stuff like that. The deck does still play 4 cores. In fact, it also plays 3 Pokegear. In fact, I'll even mention, there's a lot of items in this deck. As you can see, we play 4 Mirage Gate, 4 Quick Ball, there's 4 Net in the deck, 4 Battle VIP Pass, 3 Pokegear, 2 Heavy Ball. 2 Heavy Ball is very important because if you prize your Radiant E-Turn, this deck is quite literally unplayable if you prize Radiant E-Turn. So you have to play at least 2 Heavy Balls because you have to not prize E-Turn. There's 2 Rope, 2 Switch, Rod, Ponchos, 4 Sealstone. So the deck does use Pokestop as its engine. And I've thought about different engines, like what about playing like Crystal Cave to help you heal your Duraludon? What about this and that? But Pokestop is just kind of good because, again, the goal of the deck is to just set up Mirage Gate using Comfey and then just kind of win the game by walling with your big VMAX Pokemon. And using Mirage Gate with like Pokestop and all these trainers makes it really easy to kind of find what you need. Like if you hit a Pokestop turn 1, you can play it because you have so many items. You're bound to get something. Like Pokegear, you get Pokegear off Pokestop, you get a Colress basically out of it almost. You can get Battle VIP Pass to get a couple Comfeys down. You find a Quick Ball. Finding Quick Ball is very important because you do need the Quick Ball in order to find the Radiant Eternatus V, or the Radiant Etern, sorry, I just called it a V, I can't believe I said that. The Radiant Eternatus, so you can put it into your hand. Now, if you do start the E-Turn, thankfully there are 4 copies of Scoop Up Net in the deck, as you're able to Scoop Up Net your E-Turn and promote like a Comfey or something. If you do happen to start with just Radiant E-Turn, you can always net it, and that is where like the Pokestops do come in handy. The deck is also playing the 4 Sealstone. Obviously, when you put the VMAXs into play, you don't have a V-Star power this match, so you can use 4 Sealstone and get any card you want, and it can be pretty good to help you find, you know, Mirage Gate and extra Colress if you need to get that extra little bit of push to get the Mirage Gate activated. You have Poncho maybe if you want to protect your Espeon. You can grab a Gus. There's so many cards you can grab with 4 Sealstone that it's kind of one of the best cards within the deck. Now, this deck could play Drapion. That is something that I am considering adding as a Drapion V. The problem is if you start with it, it's really bad. Yeah, you do have Switch, obviously, so it's not. I'm not saying that you start with it, it's stuck in the active. It's just a bad starter. It kind of hurts your math a little bit because you just want to put like 2 VMAXs in play while your opponent barely is able to KO these one prizers like Comfey and E-Turn in time before you get the double VMAX set up. So if you have a Drapion in play, it just kind of makes it easy for your opponent to gust it or, you know, just knock it out and get an early 2-prize lead on you, and that's just not very good. You don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm not playing Drapion in the deck. It does make the Mew matchup pretty difficult, I'm not going to lie, and if you want to play the Drapion, you can. Again, it's just if you start with it, it just feels so bad. But you can definitely experiment with the Drapion. Yeah, I mean, there's other basics you could run. You could play a Cramorant, you could play a couple Crams. You could play Cram Drapion. You can, like, I feel like you're going to add Drapion. You probably want to play at least a couple more basic Pokemon just so the odds of starting with that Drapion aren't super high. So I would definitely recommend adding, like, a couple Cramorants or something, or, I don't know, add, like, another Guru or something like that. Just ways that you don't have to open up with Cram, or open up a Drapion. But other than that, that is the list here. It's a very straightforward archetype. It's going to be a lot of fun to play. Radiant E-Turn's ability is really, really good. Of course, it does end your turn when you play it, but when you have like Comfey in the active, it's kind of perfect, so you don't really mind that. And yeah, that's the Radiant E-Turn deck here with Flying Pikachu, Duraludon, and Espeon VMAX. And there you have it. That is the archetype and what it's all about. I cannot wait to play it, and hopefully y'all are excited for Radiant Eternatus to come out too. If y'all are excited for Radiant Etern, leave a like on today's video, and of course, leave a comment down below what you also think Etern could be good with. Of course, being able to put any VMAX into play means that it'll be good with a lot of other Pokemon. So if you want to have any other cool ideas for Etern, definitely let me know down in the comments below what you're thinking. And that'll be for me. Hope y'all enjoyed the video today on the Shuffle Squad. Thanks for watching, and check out all our sponsors down below and all that good stuff. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, sub right now. Why not? All right, peace out.
The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at PTCGOstore.com.
PokeX Word, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every day, and they recently launched a new Guess That Pokemon puzzle, which is a ton of fun to play. Go check them out at PokeXWord.com and be sure to follow them on Twitter for your chance to win a ton of PTCGO codes every month.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London, and then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar pricing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.